Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Medieval Reader. So today I would like to talk about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the second Harry Potter book. I'm rereading the Harry Potter books as an adult, so I just finished the second book. Because I am rereading these books as an adult and because I intend for my audience to have already read the books, there will be spoilers. I want to talk about my experience of rereading the books as an adult. If you hear voices in the background, someone across the hall is speaking pretty loudly over the phone, so there's that. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, I didn't love as much as the first book. Upon reflection. I say upon reflection because I really enjoyed reading it while I was reading it. I particularly focused on the professors because I am at university and I'm constantly thinking about who would make a good advisor and just all of the personalities of the professors. I could kind of put a face on all of them. And not necessarily the institution I'm attending right now, but just the different universities I have attended in the past. I could put a face on every single professor. Professor McGonagall, I've known people like Professor McGonagall, I've known people like Snape, I've known people somewhat like Lockhart. Okay, Lockhart is completely fake, but I have known narcissistic professors, I've known incredibly helpful professors, I've known really, really sweet professors who maybe are not the best teachers, I've known great teachers who are tough, I've known all of these different characters. And that's why I think that J.K. Rowling was definitely writing these professors based on people she actually knew when she was a classic student. Things that people might know, there's actually some French in Harry Potter. So Voldemort is Voldemort, which is translated as flight from death. Makes sense if you think about Voldemort's character. Malfoy is Malfoy, bad faith. Again, makes sense if you think about the Malfoy family. So yes, I really, really love this book. It was an incredibly nice escape from a lot of things I've been dealing with recently. But I don't necessarily like Dumbledore interfering and helping Harry Potter escape danger. And I think that's what I really found the least interesting was the Phoenix coming to help Harry Potter. And I know it's because Harry was very loyal to Dumbledore, but I wanted Harry to get out himself. I wanted him to escape from the basilisk himself. But instead it was really Dumbledore who comes in to save the day. And I don't love Dumbledore as much as a lot of people do. I think that he's an incredibly arrogant wizard in comparison to, say, Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. Dumbledore really does see himself as a worthy competitor to Voldemort. I see Dumbledore as just, incredibly arrogant, thinks too highly of himself. We see this in later books. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Dumbledore, and so when Dumbledore comes to save the day, I was just like, but it's about Harry Potter. I want Harry Potter to save the day, or at least Harry Potter and his friends. He can certainly take advice from Dumbledore, but I find Dumbledore's intervention to be a little bit easy. And for a children's book, that's okay, but I'm reading it as an adult, so I want a little bit more complexity. I like the car. The magical car is really funny. It certainly has a life of its own. There wasn't as much world building in the second book that there was in the first book. There was a little bit of Quidditch, but I wanted more about the holiday, especially since it's winter, and so it's snowing right now outside in Philadelphia. So I wanted to experience the Christmas at Hogwarts, and it didn't as much in this book. In the first book, there's quite a lot of that, so I like the world building in the first book more. But again, I loved reading this. I mean, while I was reading it, I really enjoyed it. But as far as quality, I think that the first book is superior, and the easy ending, the easy escape was kind of a cop-out to me. Lockhart, I found really ridiculous, and I liked how ridiculous he was, someone who took credit for other people's accomplishments. I was hoping, and I had forgotten, that he really isn't a villain. I mean, he's not really associated with Voldemort in any way, and I kind of, at least I thought that he was actually a villain, and so I was surprised rereading this that actually he's not at all. He doesn't know anything about the Chamber of Secrets. He doesn't, so he's innocent in that way. I was hoping that he'd be a villain, so that was a little bit disappointing as well. But overall, that was a good book. I'm going to be reading Prisoner of Azkaban next. Now, I know that that is, for many people, their favorite book. Unfortunately, it was my least favorite book. When I read it, I remember being bored out of my mind. So I've been putting off reading this book because I don't want to read the third book. But maybe I will love it more this time, especially since people have been praising it all over YouTube. So I will let you know how I feel about Prisoner of Azkaban. But yes, so this was good. I give it 3 stars. I thought, it's when it comes to reading Harry Potter, I have to rate the books in comparison to the other books in the series. I don't feel like it's fair to compare this book to another children's book. I compare the books to each other, and so in comparison to the first book, which I gave 4 stars, this was more of a 3-star read. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Let me know what you thought, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.